Hi. Hello. I am pleased to report that the bitrate is still unstable. I have no idea why. We're just gonna go with it. Hello. Okay, so this is a continuation of Tuesday. You may be wondering, exception, why are you continuing to play Greg Tech instead of playing literally anything else? I think you were going to play Homeworld 2, maybe continue the Battlestar Galactica thing. Well, I am pleased to give you some answers to those inquiries. First and foremost, I do what I want. And second, I am enjoying this. But third, it is about to be August, and I, as is traditional for the August month, tend to be unavailable during that time. And I don't want to start something or do some cool activity and like keep it half finished. I'd rather just wait until the unavailability period is over and then start things. So I'm waiting till then. In the meantime, we are doing some calm, chill, relaxing activities in order to buffer the time between now and when I have to be unavailable. But I have not just sat here and done nothing for the past 2 days and 3 hours. I have built a room. So here's a basic rundown. Last time when we ended, we were on a mission to make the cool new charcoal generator fully automate the concept of turning tree into wood, into charcoal, into benzene. And we've had this benzene machine for a while, but it has not been automated. And I want it automated. So there are multiple steps to that process, which I've done off stream. One, I've built this giant room that is half filled with spruce bonsai trees. These spruce bonsai trees are collected using the machine we built last time, the crop manager. And the crop manager will take all of them, put it in here. It will then output upwards into the pipes. The pipes will then output to a big barrel that collects it all into one place. Well, the saplings. And then the logs are brought up to, you can't see it, but there's another barrel up there. I tried using a hopper, but it wasn't big enough. So then those are in there, and then the hopper moves them from there into what is currently a coke oven that is absolutely full of creosote. This might be a problem, actually. Hmm. Okay, we may need to fix that because I was wondering why the charcoal was not being made anymore. We need to get rid of the oil. But that's fine, because the other big thing I did was I went through, relearned how to do medium voltage things, build circuits, build motors, and build stuff. And I've built us a medium voltage mixer. This is very important for us because it means we can make the IC2 coolant. And the IC2 coolant will allow us to turn our really, really hot bricks that we have from the hot netherrack brick, into infernal brick. And then we can turn the infernal brick into the other bricks, and then we can do that. And then we'll build the better coke oven for making charcoal really fast, and that'll replace this block up here, and then we'll be good to go. That's the idea. That's the plan. And I've just built, right before the stream started, the mixer. I got all the pieces. So now we need to make the coolant itself. I've looked at the recipes for coolant. Here they are. And we can either use water and lapis dust or distilled water and lapis dust. We're not really that low on lapis dust, but it feels a little awkward to have all of the, like, to use so much lapis, because we're going to need about a stack of coolant because we don't have any way to cool off the coolant after it's being used. And for every single netherrack brick we cool down, it's going to take 1 liter of IC2 coolant. So we'd either need 8 stacks of lapis dust, or we use 1 stack of lapis dust and some distilled water. So how do we make distilled water? Well, distilled water is actually really easy. You just take some water, put it in some distilleries on power setting 5, and it'll just slowly distill it for you. Very easy, very simple, and I've already prepared the groundwork for doing that. The only problem is that we only have one distillery, and that distillery is typically used to source benzene into our factory. So by getting rid of it, or by purposing it for something else, we are going to lose the ability to use the benzene machine. Let me just put the ashes down there for convenience, all nice and good. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to very carefully, pipe in water into the distillery, then pipe the water from the distillery into the coolant machine, and then go from there. In order to fit all of the pipes, just to make this automated, and I don't want to keep funneling all the dang water back and forth, I choose to automate the process. So, water's going into the distillery, or at least it will once I'm done. I'm going to change the output direction of the distillery machine itself to up. That way, the distillery machine will output the distilled water up and over into the advanced mixer. Now we input the water. We input the water. I see the problem. The machine's facing is forward relative to things. So if we rotate it like that, then turn the machine's facing output to up, and then we input the water. There we go. So now it's getting water. Distilled water particular is setting 5. Let's set it to 5. We are now building distilled water. Very good. The water can be auto-outputted into here. So now, once we have a stack of that, we can use it. I'm a little worried about our benzene supply. I tried to put a few stacks of charcoal into the machine to keep it full, but it might not be full enough. We'll get there if we get there. If worst case scenario, we'll just reorganize the machine back to benzene production. It's not that hard. We wrench here, wrench there, put charcoal in. Easy stuff. So we have distilled water, and we're going to need about 2 full advanced mixers of it. A little bit more because we need 68, not 64 brick. So the only thing we need now is the lapis dust, and I have prepared a large collection of lapis lazuli in advance somewhere. The idea being, we have it. Yeah, I think this is exactly how much we need. Oh, 68, not 72. But then we can take the lapis lazuli, we can put it in the ever popular macerator. Get the dust. Keep going. So let's do that. Let's go for 32 just to test it out and let the machine run. Everything else is going good, I'd say. We have a fully functioning good bit of stuff. The machines are operational. We have sufficient fuel for the giant wall of machinery. While all this is happening, we just need to let the machines run for a bit. And in the meantime, we also need a chemical bath machine. Yes. So we need the chemical bath in order to actually put the coolant to the bricks. That's going to require the classic electronic circuits, machine holes, glass, conveyor modules, tin cable, conveyor modules, and electric pump. So we need to start working for this stuff. Start with the motors. Motors are the most simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 5 motors. Let's build 5 motors. We're going to need to get back to our steel production. How is our steel supply looking? Pretty good. Got a little bit here and there. Quick reminder of what a motor needs. It's just... Oh, wait, it doesn't need iron at all. Or steel at all. It's just iron. Okay, so 5 motors. I don't think we have any spare motors. I have a medium voltage. Wait! We have spare pumps. Never mind. We only need 4 motors. Keep that there for safekeeping. All right, 1 pump down. Easy. Next up, motors. For conveyor belt. So we need 4 of these. So 3, 6, 9. That's going to be 12 iron. Comparable number of... All right, so start with the 12 iron. That's 7. But this is fine. We've got plenty of iron for now. Do the lathe. The distillery makes a weird noise when it's in operation. It's just like a big, deep, bassy. We also want to make sure we have enough containers for this. Best option would probably be large steel fluid cells or more tanks, but I don't want to deal with obsidian right now. We need to open up one of these large... Yeah, let's... Okay, sorry I asked. We'll move the oxygen to smaller cells to give us the full big cell to work with. In you go. There. 4 large steel fluid cells will be used to hold the coolant, move it between machines. In that time, we want 4 of these to be polarized. Thank you very much. I have no problems with just making the motors in the crafting it. The assembly machine does not give us any true benefit. What else do we need? Because if there's one thing I do, it's forget the recipe. Copper wire. Well, it's a very convenient thing that I got so much copper wire in preparation. We were actually out of copper, basically. I had to get more at the copper store. Maybe the other things like the cable, like the tin cable especially, we are low on processed tin. There's a few tin ore, or cassiterite specifically, in the chest somewhere. Oh no, wait, we have actual full tin. I don't want to process it right now because I want to keep our tin supplies as high as possible. It's currently our makeshift soldering material. For all the circuits and the vacuum tubes and all that, we use tin. We can't use lead yet, and I don't even have that much lead to use. Okay, some classic iron powder. We can process that into steel powder at our convenience. Okay. One of the fundamental fears in this game is you running out of some processed material you have, and then having to go through all the steps to build it up. It's spooky. As for the tin cable, we will cheap out and purchase some. Yes. Thank you for your patronage. Oh, wait, I need to take it. There we go. There we're good. The electric motor. Now we need the rubber to be pressed into rubber sheets in order to be turned into conveyor belt. 2 for 2. And then 2 more of the tin cable in there. There is our conveyor modules. Next up, let's just get the recipe in our list of recipes. Electronic circuits, I have 3, just byproduct of the ones I was making for the mixer. Check, 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 check. Check. 2 glass, easy. Check. And there, hold there. What was the configuration again? Something like that, maybe. All right, let's see how right I was. Not at all. Glass goes in the middle. How could I have been so naive? There. Now it's just the casing, and that's just a matter of steel. And we have enough steel. So what's the matter? This is actually going quite well. I was worried that this would be a big problem, but it's turning into not a problem at all. Okay, well, we're running out of benzene, but that's a different problem. Is there actually technology we can use to turn the coolant into coldant at this point? Coolant. So the mixer recipe is the one I'm intending to use because it's just like a stack of water and a stack of coolant. Fluid extracting requires us to have coolant already from bees. The vacuum freezer is an option, but the vacuum freezer requires high voltage pumps, which we do not have, and high voltage circuits, which we most certainly do not have. I don't know in what world they think this is a way of getting coolant. The cryogenic freezer is just as bad. Then there's the multi-block mixer, which is just a mixer but multi-block. Then we have the extreme heat exchanger, which again requires materials we do not have. And the fluid canner is just taking it from a cell that we assumedly already made somewhere. So yeah, making all this coolant is fully required right now. We cannot recycle. Our fluid is not recyclable. We do not have the means to lower its temperature. Anyway, machine casing, LV machine hull, glass, pump, conveyor, circuit, replace the conveyor in the right spot, wire, 1 chemical bath. Successful. We are going to put it here simply because there is room. Now we can start moving some of the distilled water into our... Wait. Nope, fool that I am. We need to actually use it in here to make the coolant first. All right. Time for coolant test. 3, 2, 1. Forgot to set the circuit to the correct number, which is 4. There it goes. It's going. That's coolant. You know, it's starting to occur to me just how long this is going to take. Because we need 60 of these. 70, effectively. We're not going to have enough benzene for this. The benzene supply is going to be stifled heavily. Good news is that we're not overloading the gas turbine's ability to output power. So we can run these at full. It's just we're going to run out of benzene first. It'll be close. It'll be close. Meanwhile, on problems we're having, creosote machine's full. Can I just break this and have it reset the creosote levels? No. All right, new plan. We're going to take it out manually. Put some of it back. We can't. Okay. Congratulations. These cells are now full of creosote. And then we take the fluid garbage can, put it here, put that there, put that there. Huh. You know, I thought that would work. This is not actually a problem, though. We can simply use technology. Because the thing that allows us to move things from one location to another is pipes, and we just so happen to have a lot of pipes. That's a thing we have. That's a benefit we have. We can actually do a lot of fluid, like, processing. So just import some creosote, and there it goes. In fact, why am I bothering with the tank? Forget this. Put it here. Something, take it. Put it in there. Turn this into export. Oh, wait, put it to import. Perhaps it does need to be on the output side. No worries, I can put it on the output side using the power of the output side. Where'd it go? Oops. Oh, wait, no, seriously, where'd the pump go? Did it accidentally fall upwards through the ceiling? If so, I can fix that. Nope, it's not here. It is at this point we must come to the uncomfortable solution. Wait, what if it's counted as a treasure? Yeah, there it is. You scared me. There we go. Now we just import. Fantastic. We are now successfully dumping our creosote oil into a anonymous garbage void. This will allow this machine to continue operating indefinitely, making more and more charcoal without any input from ourselves. You know, maybe I should have investigated that bonsai crop. Maybe it would have, like, evolved into be stronger. I know there's, like, a stat system to the crops and how fast they grow. So in theory, if we needed even more wood at a faster rate, we could like breed and selectively produce better and better bonsai trees, and they would produce logs faster and stuff. I'm not exactly certain how to do that. I'm not exactly filled with the amount of mind space required to make that operational, but it's definitely something to consider. All right, cool, cool. How's this going? The mixing is done for the first round of coolant. I will therefore take it for myself. I will also just put the rest of this half stack of lapis dust in here, and it will just go through at a convenient pace. Worry about the benzene when we get there. Meanwhile, we can make the conversion. Our first hot netherrack bricks can be turned into not so hot anymore netherrack bricks. 30. We got the fuel for it. The infernal brick has been invented. And we can leave the hot coolant in there for now. Not like we need it for anything. And who knows? The chemical bath might produce brand new chemical bath stuff. Like, look, we can chemical bath insulated wire into different color. Okay, I guess it's a painting tool in that way. You can change the color of things. You can change the color of dyes and hardened clay. You can add some chlorine to a colored borosilicate glass block and turn it into a borosilicate glass block. You can turn arrows into arrows with smite 3 by adding holy water. That's a funny way of doing that. Go backwards. Remote orderer, electrical steel frame box. You can chemical bath an enderman head into ender pearls using Blood. All right, that's a weird possibility. You can change the color of. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of changing the color of things, which makes sense. Oh, you can process crushed ore into purified ore with some byproducts. Maybe we can do that with ores that we have. Crushed gold ore into purified gold ore to make copper. Maybe this is a better option for certain materials than the macerating. Like, I mean, you macerate it to get to the crushed ore, but then you forge hammer it into dust and then wash it. Maybe using a chemical bath might give us better odds or different materials. All right, so we have options, but for the most part right now I'm just using it to cool off my infernal brick. Now that we have the infernal brick, or at least some of it, we have one of the next steps in our grand process of making the next machine. The infernal brick goes into a blast furnace with coke oven brick and oxygen to make 2 advanced coke oven brick. We then need 4 of it to make 1 coke oven brick in a compressor, which we have. We could macerate it for really dumb decision, but you could do it. And then with 36 of these, we can build our brand new advanced coke oven. So it is really just a slow process of turning this into this by way of lapis. And I will chaperone it as much as I need and make other things as well as needed. Looks like we have another 8 kiloliters. I'll take those. And now it looks like it's being restricted by the speed of our water processing. Keeps doing that, and I keep getting startled because it's like I'm not doing anything wrong. It's just I'm wrong. It doesn't have to yell at me like that. There we are. After this, we'll have to start dealing with the coolant, but maybe we can just dump over the creosote container. Well, the coke oven's empty now, so I'm willing to just temporarily move the garbage can back over and maybe start using it on the... I think using it on the hot coolant is a bit of a waste. We can save that coolant for later. Let's empty out this barrel as well. And if we're doing a general purpose creosote purge, I can take some of these large fluid cells and just dump them into here. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I can't, because it just doesn't let me interact with things directly like that. Fine. Put it in the smaller cells and then put them in here. Happy game? I understand that the large fluid cells are kind of operating outside the regular system, and so all of the basic interactions that you would do by default need to be avoided in order to prevent something breaking. Still a little convenient, though. Stuff going on over here. I did centrifuge some ash as well. I don't remember if that was on stream or not. And it gave me a whole bunch of random dust, but it was random dust that I could electrolyze down into oxygen. So maybe we could do that instead of the slow electrolysis of water, because that takes forever and it gives us a bunch of hydrogen we don't want. Just do a few centrifuges of ash and then electrolyze the results and get efficient, direct oxygen to be used in our processes. Okay, the benzene tank is about to be empty. That's technically okay because there's 16,000 more millibuckets of benzene in the turbine itself, but it is cause for a little bit of concern. We must not allow it to go to exactly 0 power because then there won't be power to power the benzene production process. So we do need to be careful about that. I suppose in case of emergency, I could power up like the steam turbine and funnel it in, but it's going to be really difficult to get another like easy way of powering the distillery. That was going good. I also learned the power of annealed copper. Very easy to make now that we have oxygen in a blast furnace that we can reasonably power indefinitely. I gotta admit, it's going pretty well. I don't really want to just sit here and wait for this to happen. But solving the benzene problem requires me to stop the machine, which would make it take longer. What else is there? What other missions are? We could process, well, no, that would take more energy from the machine. You know what? Let's process some steel the old-fashioned way. The classic blast furnace full of iron and charcoal of some description. We'll go for the classic 10-4 block of charcoal strategy. So, iron ingot. Yep. Because we still do need a lot of steel. Especially if we're going to care about the concept of mass production. Where is my axe? There's my axe. Honestly, we have so much spare loggage that I don't really need to care about the finer details out here. Also got some spare charcoal in here. We can compress that using the compress that machine. Here it is. Wait, no, that's not it. There. We gotta compress that machine. Forgot how much charcoal this takes. Let's put away some of our more random general materials. Oh, these are too full as well. Don't want to get rid of all of it. It's a tough call to make. I concede that fact. Really am concerned about the benzene supplies. We will need to restore that. Meanwhile, am I missing a step? Yes, the fact that it's actually twice as much charcoal as I thought. Great. Still raining outside, but we can do a cycle on the pile burner. It would truly take a lot for this to not be the most efficient way to make charcoal. But that is exactly what I'm hoping the advanced coal burner, charcoal, creosote, not creosote thing will do. I just realized I could theoretically just put charcoal in preemptively. Then it can all be powered into benzene at our earliest convenience. Still going, still going. All right, we're almost done with the first half of the lapis. We actually need to start macerating the rest of it. After that, who knows? Right. This container is going to be full, and it's going to keep being full because we don't have the supplies to hold it. We do have an increasing supply of large steel cells. And the good news is that the hot fluid, the hot coolant, isn't actually molten. It's regular hot, like a coffee cup, but like not the one that actually like burns you. It's just a reasonable temperature, a nice warm drink. Do not actually drink the coolant. I assume it is unhealthy. Right. Still need one empty cell to move the liquid from this machine to the other machine. And, you know what? It's the only thing we're using the chemical bath for. Let's just put all the bricks in now. Be a good way to keep progress. Or keep track of progress, rather. Very good. Oh, we had extra charcoal in here the whole time. Neat. All right, the 4 blocks of charcoal that constitute the... All right, that'll get us 40 steel in a long time from now. But it's completely safe and reasonable. And we've got 6.4. The ashes are not being outputted because I moved the chest. That's on me. It turns out we didn't need to move the chest. I moved the chest because I assumed we would need more space, but was not true. So I'll move it back. Very good, very good. Our machines are machining. Let's move the top layer of this tank back over here. The electrolyzer is technically open. We could electrolyze something that is not water. The benzene is empty and is going into the gas turbine supply. Not good. Well, if it's a gas turbine, we could maybe use one of our other turbines. It's like a turbine's a turbine's a turbine, yeah? I don't remember where it lists how to use the materials, but... Well, like, if benzene can be used in the gas turbine, shouldn't hydrogen be able to as well? Or nitrogen? Wait, not nitrogen. No. Nitrogen is non-combustible. You can't use it. Hydrogen is the one I'm thinking of. That's why I didn't see the recipe. I was looking at the wrong gas. 20,000 EU. Now, what about benzene? Uh, 36,000 per liter. That's a lot. That's a lot more. But, you know, if we're in a pinch and we need to find a material to put in the generator, we have a lot of hydrogen. It could be our emergency reserve. I mean, maybe not. Steel fluid, diesel, hydrogen sulfide, steel fluid, steel lubricant, refined glue, cetane boosted diesel, chlorine. Yeah, you going in a combustion generator. That's a different machine. So maybe we would actually have to go back to hydrogen. That is frankly the thing I am most concerned about right now, the benzene. I'll try and push my luck, because the longer we can get this working, the closer we will be to victory. But if needed, I will dump every remaining bit of charcoal I have in the benzene production. I will dismantle, sacrifice 32 buckets worth of water just to make sure we can make it through. I'll do it. Okay, so we are 16 here. About to be 16 here for a grand total of 32. 52. 62. 68. So it's 16, 16, 16, and 20. Macerate 16 more lapis, please. Thank you. The Endermans are teleporting. Those concern me. The best thing to do is to just get more charcoal. Maybe sleep as well, make it daytime. And get more charcoal from the get more charcoal machine. And that's about another stack. Yep, that's working. So 140. Trying to get it full exactly. That'll work. Forgot the wood tar to benzene conversion. $200 to $80. Not perfect, but it'll do. So they'd fill up slightly less than half of the turbine if given the opportunity. Wait, hold on. I think we're at an inflection point here. I don't think the distillery needs any more water. Because, the 4,000 liters combined in here from these four, and we only need 32 left. That's a full tank in the advanced mixer, and a full tank of output in the distillery. Which means all this water, all the water that's currently in there, should be enough on its own. We don't need to make excess distilled water. This also means theoretically we're past the halfway point, kind of, which, yay, I would say. And just put the rest of it in there, and we are done with holding the lapis. How's this going? We're going to need to take out the hot coolant. We may need to ditch the hot coolant. We do not have enough fluid storage. Just literal physical containers to hold it all. In case of emergency, I will use every single spare cell we have to empty the distillery of water, then use one big cell to take out the remaining water, because it's not going to be a multiple of 1,000. Disconnect that, rotate that here, turn on fluid auto output on the extractor, and let it fill up with some benzene. In fact, I might need to do that anyway because we're reaching the halfway point. If we're at the halfway point of production with this, then that might be okay. Because it means that it's going to be close. I don't want to risk it. Oh, maybe if I take the batteries from somewhere. Like, we're most certainly not using the blast furnace. If I put the batteries in the distillery, then we know it'll operate even if the gas turbine runs out of power, and then we can just make sure we're using that battery for the stuff. I'm also going to put a battery in the fluid extractor in the event that I'm not paying attention and this thing is still distilling water when it runs its power battery empty. Because then I can just take that battery out, swap that battery into here, and it should still work. So I say we have a theoretically viable emergency backup plan. Take the infernal ingots out. We're at 32. So while this disaster is in the process of slowly happening, what else is there to do? All the machines over here are fair game, basically. Centrifuge some random lapis that I just had for some reason. Now is the steel going halfway through the first batch? What? Okay, yeah, the chemical bath is taking all the power. Shouldn't be any more, we're out of coolant. There we are. Put the dust in the dust pile. Doing a quick check to make sure I haven't accidentally done something with a machine and forgot about it. I'll go there. You are. I mean, you're still going. I'm still worried about it, but you're still going. So I'll let you still go. Yep. All right, you know what? Forget it. We're dumping coolant. If we need more coolant, we can make more coolant, but we don't need more coolant right now. I don't expect to need to use coolant again until high voltage. But you know what? For the sake of absolute security, let's check everything we can do with the coolant. Let's see, we can use it in a reactor to infuse gold and iron into thaumium. Oh, infused gold dust. My bad. We can mix it with Listo ice and Leadox dust to make crushed ice and super coolant. High voltage. Chemical bath here. Hot raw silicon can be turned into raw silicon. Actually, silicon is vaguely relevant to us. Why do we need hot silicon? reason is because we can't do anything. We can't make silicon. It's weird, it's odd, it's strange, but that's what we're doing. And what I'm doing currently is just running back and forth, trying to make sure all the machines don't run out of power in the medium future, trying to gauge whether it will or will not be a problem, not actually doing anything else. So let's do something else. So what we're doing here is we're getting the power. Once we get to the full coke machine, charcoal will be automated at speeds never before seen. Logs will go in, they'll be made into charcoal at a rate of 1 charcoal per second. Some of that charcoal will be filtered back into the system to make sure that it can sustain itself. The rest will be product. And at a rate of approximately 1 charcoal per second, we can make a lot of benzene at a reasonable speed. Which means that this benzene setup we have that produces voltage and power for the entire factory will effectively be running infinite. There's some finer details that means it's not pure infinite. If the machine runs out of power, the whole thing will grind to a halt and we'll need to have an external source of power to get it back up and running again. And we are just sort of holding on to the saplings, not doing anything with them. And this barrel will eventually get full. It's about 10% full right now, even. So we may need to start voiding the saplings. There's also a question of what exactly will be the throughput limit of the production. I think right now it's going to be right now it's the whole coke oven being extremely slow. But once that's fast, I think it'll be the speed at which these bonsai plants grow. So once that's done being a problem, we can then fill in the rest of this area with more saplings. I didn't do it right now because I was jumping around, putting things on the ceiling, punching things, and I didn't want these to break. So I left this area open for me to perform athletic activities like jumping. But yeah, I'm thinking about it, and we won't dump all of the hot coolant, but we will dump some of the hot coolant. 11,000, 12,000 technically. 6 charcoal, everything's running. It is all happening. Things are sustained and they are moving, and movement is happening. How's the steel? Still working on it. Can't use the electric blast furnace. It will burn through all of our stored energy. Once we have a good production of basic factory materials, we can make perhaps multiple parallel versions of the benzene machine, which will then allow the factory to scale based on our charcoal production. It already technically does that, but if we have like a really big power supply unit that can then just funnel electricity to the rest of the factory, we'll start be able to do some crazy mass production stuff and things will really speed up. I think I'm going to try and take the advice of the game where you don't just you can't just go to the next scientific tier the moment you get there. You can't just go in like a purely vertical ascension. If you want to do things at any reasonable speed, you need to invest a little bit into logistics. Multiple simultaneous operating machines that are like producing the things you want, automating the processing of things so that you're not waiting like 20 minutes for a stack of ore to be macerated and forge hammered and stuff. You want to build a proper assembly line. Parallelize your processes. Use your power to just do the things you're doing already faster. My big push to Ascension to get medium voltage and this whole benzene thing working was because it makes it self-sustained. And that self-sustained nature can then be used as like a zone of safety that you can then be like, all right, cool, that's working, that's good. We can build around it. Because with this like permanent source of power that we're about to have, we can use it to power production to make this bigger. And when we make it bigger, we can use the spare power on the side to, build other things. Big furnace super smelter or something that's just smelting all the ores or whatever. Able to run the blast furnace indefinitely without worrying about it running out of power. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Mass producing steel, mass producing aluminum. Just giving us the raw materials to do what we need. Automating, like, circuit creation would be really nice. Not being so stingy with pipes and engines and stuff. Multiple assembly machines with dedicated purposes. Oh. Nice. Rain. At some point, though, I do really hope that Quint comes back. Because the one thing I do not like doing is the mining. I just don't have good inventory management. So I go there, I get like 5 pieces of ore, and then my inventory is full. And then I can't do anything else. It's my fault, I know, but still, if I can make it someone else's solution, then that's teamwork. So I am going to start dumping the coolant. Could it be that the coolant is hotter than the pipe permits? Yep, the pipe's been destroyed. Cool. Actually, quite the opposite, if we're being perfectly honest. Well, that means we're going to need something that can suffer a higher heat limit. What is the temperature of this stuff, anyway? 1200 Kelvin. So we need, should have used bronze fluid pipe instead of the copper, I suppose. No big deal. I can just get another pipe. The loss of the pipe is the real big tragedy there, because those pipes are tough to make. But, given this... Yeah, look at it go. It's working. So that's good. Do another test real quick just to make sure that I haven't like severely lucked out into a mistake of some kind. Oh yeah, and the bigger pipe is just like dumping the fluid even faster. Great. Should have been using bronze pipe the whole time. All right, now that I'm seeing that the fuel is at 10,000 and we're like 75% of the way there, I think we're going to be good. We'll finish distilling the water. We'll put the water away. Restart the machine. And everything will be good to go. We will also need to source some coke oven bricks in order to be put in the blast furnace. But I'm completely fine with just dismantling one of our other coke ovens, because we do have 3. And once this is over, we should only really have need for 1 for the creosote. If we're mostly using the the coke ovens for charcoal, then we're just going to use the advanced one we're building right now. It all works out. Spooky sound. Look at the map. We have a map. It's a little awkward to use, because there's a giant hole I made above us, which makes the cave we're in hard to see. But the premise is there. There's the big central room. Our laboratory is that hallway into here. This is our thing. The new room. There's a horse over here. Everything's there. So I've been a little hesitant to redecorate this room simply because it's full of machines we're already using and I don't know how permanent this room is going to be. I don't want to mess with it because I don't want to break it and rebuild it. But if this is going to be where we build our charcoal, then the power supply room should probably be right next to it. So that would be this, unless you move it over there or something. The layouts can change and form and move. Another thing that we could maybe do is, if the problem I have is mining, then what if I just automate the mining? There are drills. There were quests about how to mine good. And it was more than just putting the machine up. There was also like ways of moving the items around, I think. It's somewhere around here, I'm sure. Cutter, oil, sift. Oh, we can. There's a reward for getting enough nitrogen. Don't we have nitrogen? Hydrogen. Yeah, I would have thought we had nitrogen. Oh well. Anyway, we are looking for the one about mining. These pipes are rather simple and won't do anything on their own, but a combination with transfer nodes, you'll soon find how great they are. Well, they feel expensive. Though, steel plate and red alloy. The cost? Just steel and red alloy? That's not that bad. It definitely requires a lot of mass production, but nothing impossible. Then what? A transfer node, which is a little more complicated. You get the brass item pipe, but you put in some small gears, some ender pearl screws, and a pipe. Ender pearl screws are made out of ender pearl bolts. Ender pearl bolts are made out of ender pearl rods. Ender pearl rods are made out of lathing and ender pearl. All right. Sure. I guess there's a bit of an expectation that we would have a good ender pearl supply. I don't really. Still, though, somewhere in here is the ore mining thing. Auto mining. Here we are. Okay, wouldn't it be great if you could transport ores from a faraway ore vein by pipes to your base? This is not a problem anymore. Connect your setup on the start and end point with a long-distance item pipeline block. In between, use the associated pipe blocks. The total distance between endpoints must be more than 64 blocks apart for more chunks. There can only be one start and end point per pipeline. To actually connect it, you need to align the start dip block such that the arrows are facing inwards and the opposite side of it has a dip block. Put a conveyor on the side of the block that has the arrows and set to import. It will now attempt to import stuff from the endpoint dip. This will go as fast as you can put items in. Do the opposite on the far side, except you don't need a conveyor. Now you only need to chunk load the start and end points, and the items will be teleported to you. Of course, later on you'll probably use ender chests to actually teleport the ore, especially from other dimensions. This setup is lag-free in the pipe block, so it's useful in your base as well if you want to reduce lag. Alright. Sounds good. How do I chunk load things again? I forgot. Long distance item pipeline is just huge item pipe, steel gear, steel plate, steel gear, huge item, tin item pipe, steel plate, steel gear. Steel gear, how do I make steel gear? That's just steel plate and steel rods. Easy. Wrench? Yeah, I can wrench. Molten tin, maybe even. Could do that. Not necessary. Item pipeline is just steel plate, large tin item pipe, wrench. Gets 32 of them. Alright, you know what? This is compelling. We could actually do something with this. Not right now, though, but if there's like one material we really need and there's an ore vein that we haven't touched, we can just walk over to it and be like, hey, give. And then we get. Alright, how's everything going? We are at 9,000 benzene. Little spooky. But I think we're going to make it. Wait a minute. What is this math? There are 18. There's going to be 6 more after this, so that's going to be 12. It's 12. There's 2 here and 10 here. That is 12. Okay, we're good. The math. 10 in here. 10 in here. Yep. There might be a little drop of water left over, but we can just remove that by removing the distillery for a second. We'll have to anyway, because the output being here means that we won't have input into the... Like, we can't, because this is where the front of the block is right now. Let's do a steel check. Almost. Chlorine. Okay, first question, nitrogen. How do we make nitrogen? Because there's apparently a quest for it, and it'll be important eventually. I assume there's a good electrolyzer recipe for it. It's certainly an output of plenty things. Ammonia, for one. Saltpeter. Already of note to me is that a lot of this is medium voltage. In fact, the only low voltage options are commanditite, yttriate, liquid nitrogen, and nobium. Nobium nitrate, specifically. So we might be picking the wrong option here. What else we got? Centrifuging air, I guess. I mean, I guess that makes sense. If you centrifuge 53 liquid air cells, you'll get 40 nitrogen, 11 oxygen, argon, and a noble gas of some kind. You can do it in low voltage, but it'd probably take forever. How do you even get liquid air? You compress air, I assume. Wait, liquid air specifically? Oh, I remember. There's compressed air as well. So you take the compressed air, you centrifuge it, you get oxygen, empty cells, and a really awkward amount of nitrogen. But with compressed air, you just compress air. All right, fine. I'll do that. It's honestly not even that expensive. We take the compressed air, centrifuge it, get oxygen, get nitrogen. It might actually be a better, well, it's definitely more energy efficient than the electrolyzing water to get hydrogen and oxygen. The advantage of the electrolysis is the hydrogen, which is theoretically a fuel, and it only takes one machine. But if we do like a centrifuge compressor combo, we could be making good nitrogen and oxygen at our convenience. Something to consider. We're very close, and I'm excited. Okay, the benzene is going to survive. As long as we do the switch over rapidly, we'll be good. Meanwhile, I'm going to do another round of wood chopping. In the middle of the night, you know, the most appropriate time to perform lumberly actions. Wait, can I... I'm looking it up. I'm looking something. I haven't even told you what I'm looking up yet, but I'm looking it. I wanted to see if there was a way to make wood tar out of charcoal blocks just to be more unit efficient with it. But that does not seem to be the case. Wood tar can only be made in so many ways. Distilling charcoal byproducts. What's that? Pyrolose oven. I've heard rumors of the I've heard rumors of it. It was another option. I went for the advanced coke generator furnace. It appears to take 16 oak wood, turns into 20 charcoal and 4 liters of charcoal byproduct. It takes medium voltage to power. And it seems to be that is the exact specific... Oh, it also takes nitrogen. Interesting. Didn't notice that first. Oh, it doesn't have to take nitrogen, but if you put in nitrogen, it doubles in speed, I guess. The voltage requirement becomes higher, but also it doubles in speed, so the total power required is reduced. So I guess nitrogen is a convenient way to reduce your energy consumption by consuming nitrogen instead. Cool. A coke oven industrial version does the same thing on a smaller scale, it seems. And there's the classic fluid canner duology. So, wood tar. The small pile of charcoal dust, can that be turned into charcoal dust? And then can the charcoal dust be turned into wood tar? If you please. No, but it can be turned into carbon dust, which is useful. Okay, let's see. Other ways to make wood tar. Fluid extractor on charcoal. Wait, this is what I'm already doing already. Yeah, we know this. We know this one. We were here for it. Distillation tower can turn charcoal byproducts into a whole bunch of stuff. Pyrolose oven. Oh, you can use the pyrolose oven to make the wood tar directly. Interesting. So you get charcoal, you get wood tar, and then you can turn the charcoal into more wood tar if you wanted to. Coke oven, same thing on a smaller scale. So an industrial coke oven is of interest to me. It appears to be an EV level thing, so maybe not actually something we can do right now. Looks nice, definitely. Curious about that pyrolose oven while we're looking for something to do. Sorry, pyrolyse oven. It appears to be a medium voltage machine, so actually within our ballpark. Cooper nickel wire, lot of good circuits, machine hull, pump, piston. This is all vaguely achievable, at least for that starting material, but it is a big machine, apparently. All right, so it's another Cooper nickel technology. Get your coils, your output hatch, your output bus. Power it with a thing, I assume. There's a 3x3 block of coils in the middle, I assume. Oh, no, it's just the bottom. Cool. All right. What do you need for a casing? Bronze plated brick, steel plate, iron plate. Bricks are probably the hardest part, just in sourcing them, but the rest is just sheer volume. Okay. All right. I'm interested. That's interesting to me. I'm interested in it. Meanwhile, dump some more coolant. How do we get the bricks specifically? We need coke bricks as well. And if we can, yes, we can extract them out of our coke oven bricks we already have. Great. So that'll be easy. In fact, it'll be so easy, I'm going to do it now. Be gone with you, creosote. Porch. To our local extractor, one of the few steam machines we still have. So a quick check, how many do we truly need? It's about a stack, right? And each bit of extraction here will make 4. Because so the 4 are going to be split into... So we're getting 4, and then they're being combined with the infernal bricks in equal measure to make 2, 1 out of each, of the advanced coke oven brick. And then those are 4 per pop. So in effect, removing 1 coke oven gives us about 2 advanced coke oven worth of normal coke oven brick. But because the advanced coke oven is slightly taller, the conversion's not perfect. Like, we can't go exactly 2 to 1. We'd need, like, 1 coke oven plus, like, an extra brick here or there. I'm not worried about that. We can effectively treat this as 48 advanced coke oven units of coke oven brick. And that'll get us all the way we need to go. Four more. I think we're done. That's 4. Put it in here. All right, cool. Fantastic. Excellent. And with 6,000 benzene to spare. Cool. Living that. I didn't think this far ahead, it seems. Okay, so we've lost a little bit of benzene there. Fine. Wait, this is dimethylbenzene. This is a completely different material. Don't tell me. Oh, fool that I am. It's a distillery set to setting 3. They changed it. Now we've got all this weird stuff. Well, whatever. Shenanigans is as shenanigan does. It means we have thoroughly wasted every single ounce of benzene or wood tar that we had saved up, but I'm not particularly devastated by that fact. All it takes is all it ever takes is some engineering. And just like that, benzene is being produced. We just put all of our reserves towards this. Some of our bricks are done. And since the benzene machine is operational, we can put some of the batteries we stole back. With full battery operation on the thing, we can now start making some of the infernal bricks into the advanced coke brick. And all of the infernal bricks are done. All right, just a quick. The advanced coke brick is in the blast furnace. It's going to take aluminum levels of electricity to perform, but we can do that. It'll also take oxygen. 1 for each. So we do need a stack of oxygen, and we're probably lacking on that. Yeah, we have 13 operations worth of oxygen. Plus 20. All right, cool. Time to cook some. Sourcing the oxygen might just be a matter of some extra ash centrifuging. As you put ash in a centrifuge and it gives you some wacky stuff eventually. Could also try the compressor centrifuge trick with the compressed air. But that mostly gives nitrogen. We need air. Blast furnace, there's no special setting. It's just infernal brick and coke oven brick. I keep thinking this steel brick is an infernal brick, so into the metals chest you go. These 9 do not seem to be needed. So if we've got 16 and 16, let's Start with 16 and 16. One. Cool. And in a minute, we'll learn how that goes. It's just occurred to me that this is going to take literally an hour if we just run the blast furnace through the whole time. That's unfortunate. So maybe we won't stick around for the entirety of that. If you'll permit me the discourtesy. Well, we'll sure try. Oh, wait, that looks like it's done. The first coke oven brick has been built. You know what? I'm willing to try a batch attempt. 15. And just as expected, it will take 15 minutes. Oh, we are going to have to work on the benzene here. Totally acceptable. I completely acknowledge that I've taken upon this risk myself. I will simply do good. Wrong tool. I'm a little concerned that we may have made a massive mistake. At 82%, we're a minute in. This is bad. Maybe I can hotwire this and save the day. Okay, so Operation Hotwire is as follows. Step 1, we're forced to wait till the centrifuge is done. Step 2. Panic. No panic. We do have a hot wire plan. This is done. This is done. This is done. Now we simply take this, the little extra in there. Steal it. Put it here. Steal this. Put it here. Fire goes in there. battery in. Okay, now that battery is draining. And it will take some pressure off of that battery. And the benzene is running. The benzene is going. So then we put in the light fuel here. And now this can power. Facing east, facing west, that's the correct orientation. Okay. More charcoal. More charcoal is what we need. Just get more charcoal. I know this doesn't seem like a tense situation because nothing's in the process of blowing up, but we are going to lose so much if we let this machine run out of power. Go. Come on, you can take out of that one. Just take out of this one. It's right there. We've got 4 amps. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? No. Oh, we've lost it. We've lost it all. Didn't work. Oh, it wasn't going to work because the battery was below it, not above it. Okay. I mean, would it work now? Like, if we just pretended that I didn't just lose a whole chunk of progress here for a second. Go back over. Boom, boom. Nope, we've lost that too. Why? Actually, no, really. Why have we lost that? I'm not currently seeing a reason. This should be working. It chooses to draw all power exclusively from this one. For reasons I don't quite understand. Facing east. Facing west. This is correct. 4 amps, low voltage. That's normal. Well, if it is going through here successfully, I guess there's no reason why I would need to specify which one I'm using. One problem here is that this is going to be a 4 amp output. And if I add another output to it in any capacity, it will explode. If I put it on the side, huh? That work? Fuel a battery buffer with another battery buffer. Ain't that wacky? In theory, that gets me around the voltage drop problem. All right, how about another test? This time we'll use 2. Really stop using patch mode. Okay. Voltage here looking stable. Input holding firm. This is taking power. Using input, it's receiving output. Good, good. Not sure if it solved the problem completely, but it has alleviated it somewhat. I'll do 2 more. Power is staying high. Fuel is being consumed. Benzene's burning. Let's get some more. Another charcoal batch, a little more than a stack. Every charcoal individually is worth about 40 benzene, approximately, based on this system. Oh, whoops, it wasn't done yet. That was too fast. Takes like 2.5 minutes. The number is going up. That's a good sign. Fuel levels are holding. The oven brick is good. And a little more ambitious, a little more confident. Eh, 40 more seconds. I'll wait out here. It's a lovely day, and it's about to be a lovely evening. Done. We lost a good bit of brick in the conversion process, and that's unfortunate. We have plenty of spare coke oven brick, but the infernal brick means we're going to have to go through the whole process again. Not as many times, but still. A bit of a setback. It's holding together, though. Things are running. Okay, you know what? I think this is all that's going to be done today. It's just maintaining this machine, getting the things running, making a bit more emergency coolant to replace what we lost, making them more netherrack brick. It's a bit redundant at this point, and I don't have any plans to break up the monotony. So I'm gonna go. Maybe tomorrow I'll do like a little quick bonus stream just because I want to show off it being done as soon as possible. So I'll work to get the bricks needed, and I'll swap out the thing and try to make the cool automated setup, and maybe from there we'll start making cool new machines for it. Maybe Quinn will be there. I don't know. It's a Friday. Maybe Quinn will be available on Friday. Who knows? I'm gonna go now though. I'm Exception. This isn't TV. Have a good day and good night.